Yo, what's up, everybody? Little Scapula, baby. Let's go. I've been waiting to talk about this A plus setup that we had today. Um, yeah, as promised, I would like to go over this real quick. It was just freaking beautiful. Um, Definitely one of the better setups that I've seen at Open in a while. Again, just like the last video, I said we have to be patient for the ones that make sense, and immediately at the gate, this thing made sense. Yesterday we had I'm terrible at remembering what the one was from yesterday, but with the pennies, this thing just shot out the gates with crazy volume. The first thing I did was look on the daily on this thing. Again, we're talking about SYRS. The first thing I noticed was this thing had a fat gap on the daily. And God, what was it yesterday that we were talking about? I don't remember the play yesterday. I'm terrible at remembering. But the penny that ran yesterday also had a fat gap on the daily. And that one was a nice runner. So this was my number one thing out of the gates. Just going off of that theme, that penny thing. I mean, right out the gates, look at these candles, man. 10 million volume, 10 million volume. I mean, this thing just had the volume right out the gates. And again, they had this little push pre-market. Wasn't really watching it, but still, this thing didn't just pop right out open randomly. You know, this thing was making a move pre-market. Let's go to the left a little bit. I think it was after 8 a.m. Made a nice little push and then started squeezing into the open, and I was glued on this thing. The reason I just like the price action. The price action was nice. It wasn't like super whippy or anything like that. My first trade on it was off of VOP. Once it made this nice move, again, what am I looking for? The first 5-minute pullback. In this situation, we had VWAP first, so VWAP will be the first main support. First thing I saw was once it tried to push right here for the second time, we put up. Okay, let's play it out. Again, first thing I marked was this pre-market pivot. That was at 1650. It was a little far away. I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna get there. Usually, if these things are having like super bullish momentum, they'll probably just pull back to the EMAs and then bounce. Because I mean, if it pulled back all the way to this, that would kind of ruin the move. It's just kind of a big pullback, but it's possible. So I had that as my reference. But since this thing had such big volume and it was moving, you know, it was the most obvious play this morning. I figured that we were gonna either bounce off of VWAP, push for new highs, or of course, like I always look for, bounce off the 5-minute 8, first 5-minute 8 tap, make new highs. The first trade I took on it was right off of VWAP right here. Again, once I saw this make a high, we were at 22s, marked my line right here. Boom, that's high day, so that's our target. So if this does pull back, this is going to be my target. I saw a big 200,000 seller, 200K wall right here at 22 when this bounced again. So I knew that 22 was going to be the level to break. But as we came down to VWAP, a 200K bidder popped up at 19, and I played off of that. I'm starting to notice more of like, you know, I'm not going to lie, I'm not that good at level 2. But that is something that was super obvious. I'm like, 200K bidder. It tried to tap it a couple times, and it just wasn't budging. I took an entry right off that big bidder, and we did get this nice push right here. Didn't break out for new highs, but I did take about half off right here, and I ended up breaking even on the rest. Because again, like I said, if this doesn't hold up, I usually cut it so I can reposition myself for the better bounce, which was right here. So again, I slapped some here for VWAP. I got this nice little push, a couple cents, took half off, and then I kind of wanted to see it push again, but unfortunately it was fine. This is okay. I'm just protecting myself. I broke even on the rest, so because I try to trade this like a robot. If I get my first push and it comes back down to my average, I'm just gonna cut it. But this was the best dip right here. I'm telling you, this thing came down to the 8 and just super wicked off that. As soon as I seen this wick, I slapped it because I know buyers are coming in off the 5-minute 8 right here. This is the first 5-minute pullback. This is where I'm going to have the most conviction. All the people that just seen this thing run up and now you're having a lower volume pullback, people are going to want to come in at the 5-minute 8 right here. And this thing broke out for new highs. This is beautiful. Set up another beautiful 5-minute flag. Ripped again. I didn't trade the second one. I put all my focus on this first 5-minute setup. This is the lowest risk setup. If this, you know, if we pull back here and then, you know, we just continue dumping off, you know, I'm probably not as interested because maybe we're going to pull back to this support level. But the most obvious entry would have been this 5-minute 8 tap right here. And that's exactly what happened. I snagged this dip, made a nice push. 1 minute flag as it's trying to do the 5 minute breakout, and then just breaks out for new highs. Breaks out over this opening day high right here, that 22s wall that we had earlier, that we had the 200K seller at. Consolidated above it and went higher again. And then, the backside came. But that's fine. This first 5 minute pullback, second 5 minute pullback are money. I'm telling you. This is what I'm going to focus on. Again, like I said yesterday, I wanted to see what's going to be the most obvious setup, and this thing just had the volume. It was right out the gates too. Usually, maybe it's not till 10 a.m. Something finally starts showing that, hey, this is the one that's going to move for the day. But this volume is what got me interested. And this nice, stair stepping down volume on the pullback. This thing was just beautiful. This was A+, I'm telling you. This was awesome. Other than that, pre-market was pretty slow. I did trade SYRS A. Let me see if this thing had news. I don't think it had news, but got a nice pop. So this was an after hours mover. This had to move after hours. Let me see. Let's see. Usually like to go left and look. Yeah, so yesterday after hours, it had a nice move, closed pretty decent. At 7 a.m. got the pop, and I was interested because of that. I figured we just broke above. Let me see. Yeah, I think it was right here actually. So, sorry, I'm trying to zoom out so I can get a better picture of this. All right, yeah. So here we go. Pre-market. This was all after hours right here. Pre-market at 4 a.m. squeezed up, kind of consolidated. 7 a.m. we broke through this pre-market pivot, and that's when I got interested because I wanted to see this. I wanted to see it consolidate over this level like it did, right? So we have this level right here, 4s. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. I liked this right here. The only thing is, this is a tougher trade. So, again, we made this push. I'm looking for this first 5-minute pullback. Let me go to the 1 minute. I can tell you how I traded it. Okay. So again, yeah, we had the supported 4s, but what I was looking for here, I kind of had this little pivots marked up because when I'm trading this first 5-minute pullback, I'm looking at the first thing it's gonna pull back to. It's either gonna be a little micro pivot like this. I took this first dip right here. Once it came down to the 1 minute 20, which is about the 5-minute 8. As you see, there's a little space here, but I took this first trade. What I'm noticing now is these aren't breaking out like I like. So I'm struggling a little bit on these pre-market plays. Just because they lately just have not been giving us the breakouts. And I kind of have to adjust to that. A note to myself is adjusting to these because I'm getting these good dips. I'm getting a nice pop right here. But I'm just not taking profits. I'm getting this and I'm looking for new highs. And then it ends up coming back down to my average. I might stop out, break even. The note is if I get these good dips and I start to get this, I just got to take profits, man. Especially right now, once the market heats up and these things just, start ripping through to new highs, maybe I can hold for more. But I'm getting chopped up, getting great entries on this thing just to have it give me, double my risk. And me being I want to see new highs. That's what I want my first target to be. We're just not getting the targets right now. So even though this is setting up a nice flag, we're just not getting the breakouts. And you just have to adjust. You just have to adjust. If the market's not giving it to you, you just got to take what you can get. And over the past couple of days, I haven't been taking this base hit, and then I'm ending up, breaking, or I'm ending up cutting, break even, or even taking a small loss, or even, taking a small loss. Breaks here, I'm repositioned, I'm getting another base hit, not taking again, and then I'm taking 2 small losses in a row. So something that I gotta adjust. It was definitely a little frustrating because I ended up either small red or break even on this name, even though it gave me 2 nice opportunities to get good base hits. I mean, if I'm having entries under 430, I'm getting 20 cents a share right here, 20 cents a share right here. I need to just take the profits, man. Even if it's a base hit, I can just take my profits and, take these base hits and add them up. But, I was patient at open for SYRS. That was the big picture today. So going into tomorrow, I'm still going to play these 5-minute pushes in pre-market. But if I do get these first, these first taps to the 1 minute 20 or 5 minute 8 or whatever, and I'm getting some resolution right here, I'm just gonna take the profits until things heat up and I start seeing them break with some, with momentum. I'm just gonna take these base hits because there's just no point in me. Once you start seeing this like consolidate for a while and I'm just holding too long, and it's just, it's a waste of mental capital. But anyways, SYRS was a banger today. Excited to see what we have tomorrow. That's it for the day, baby. Let's go.